people, welcome to yet another exciting episode on Food Clinic, your #1 cooking show on TV. My name is Blue and I'm your host for today. So today we are going to be making a recipe that I will say is actually good for the weather, especially the cold weather. So we are going to be making today assorted pepper soup and yam. So when we come back from this break, I'll be introducing you to all our ingredients for this recipe. Stay tuned. Welcome back, people. So right now it's time to introduce you all to our ingredient for today's recipe. So right here we have our pepper already blended, and also here we have our different spices for pepper soup already blended as well. And right here we have our onions, we also have our seasoning cubes, we have our salt to taste, and here is our salted meat, liver, kidney, intestine and towel. And also we have our yam, we have here also our uziza leaves, and we have here our crayfish. So right now it's time to get down to business. So first and foremost, I'm going to be washing my hands, and then I'll go into washing our meat and put it on fire before I do other things. So let's go. So I'm done washing my hands. Now I'll move over to washing my meat, my assorted meat, and then I'll just cut it into pieces, into smaller tiny pieces, and then set on fire. We'll have to cook this for a very long time because it's actually hard. It's harder than the usual kind of meat we know. So this has to stay on fire for a much longer time. So I'm just going to wash this very well. I've washed before anyways, but I just want to wash again before I use to cook. So I'm done washing this. I'm just going to cut it into smaller pieces before I put in my pot. So I'm just going to clear this place up, and then I'll start cutting my assorted meat. I want to make it tinier so it can get done quickly. I want it to get soft quickly, so I have to make it smaller in size so it can get soft a bit faster. So this is it. I'll just chop into small pieces. This is just to help it cook properly, because this is actually really hard. It takes a lot of time to prepare. So making it tinier would make the job easier. The smaller it is, the quicker or faster it gets done. So that's why I'm making this tiny. This is actually good for the cold weather. The weather is so cold, and this is a perfect meal for this cold weather. And of course, aside yam, you can use plantain for this. You can even use potato, be it Irish, sweet, any kind of potato at all can also be used for this particular recipe. And of course, I'm going to be putting the yam inside the pepper soup. I'm not cooking it separately. You know how to make this pepper soup for women that just gave birth. So I'm doing something like that. So I'm done cutting this. This will go into our pot now. So I'm going to put this on fire. I want this water to boil at first, then I'll sieve it out, and then I'll put the water to cook the meat. I'm doing that because I don't really like the would I say the odor or smell coming out from the meat, so I want to get that out. That's why I'm putting in water, and then I'll just sieve it out and then put in a new water that will cook my meat, and then I'll put in other ingredients into it. So right now it's time to pick my uziza leaves, and when I'm done picking this, I'm going to wash and chop, and then I'll chop my yam or cut my yam as well, peel and cut. This has been taken care of already, but I just want to take out the sticks from it before I wash and then chop. So that's it. If you don't want to use uziza leaves, you can as well use the scent leaf or even curry leaves, whichever one you think you would like, you should go for it. But I prefer uziza leaves while making my pepper soup, so that's why I went for uziza leaves. So I'm just going to wash this and then I chop. Then after that, I'll chop my yam as well, peel and chop as well. Uziza leaves alone has a lot of nutritional value, and it comes with this natural peppery flavor. So when you're using uziza leaves to cook, you don't really need to add so much pepper in it, because it has this peppery kind of flavor that comes with uziza leaf. So I'm done washing this. I'll just chop. So like I said earlier, uziza leaf actually has this peppery kind of flavor in it. So when using this, you don't really need to add so much of pepper in your food, so it doesn't get too peppery. This contains a lot of vitamins, so I'll say uziza leaf is actually a healthy leaf to use in your delicacies. And of course, the aroma is always inviting. So aside pepper soup, of course, you know they also use it to cook different kinds of soups, okra soups, or ogbono soup, whatever kind of soup, even egusi soup. Some people use uziza leaves for egusi soup. So that's how rich this particular leaf is. So you can use it for anything at all, any kind of delicacy at all, soups, pepper soup, whatever. Uziza leaf to the rescue. I actually love the aroma so much, and that's why most of the times I prefer to use it than even scent leaf. So I'm done with this already. I'll move over to peeling and cutting our yams into tiny bits, because I'll be adding that to the pepper soup. It's not going to be like a white yam kind of, so I have to make it really tiny. So I'm done with this. Just put it aside. So this has come to a boil, so I'm just going to drain out the water from this and then put in a new water and start cooking properly. So I've changed the water. So now it's time to add my seasonings for the pepper soup. First, I'm putting my pepper already blended. I won't have to put much because of the uziza leaves. It contains a little bit of pepper in it. So I'll go in with my seasoning cubes. So there's no pepper soup without onions, like seriously. It gives it a very unique flavor and taste. So of course, onions is needed in your pepper soup. Very important. So I'm adding that and that's done. And then next is our pepper soup spice. There are different spices here blended together. So I've just added little. That's enough. And now my crayfish comes in. We don't need too much of it because we are not making soup, we are making pepper soup. So it doesn't need to be too obvious. But of course it's necessary. Of course our seasoning, our salt rather, to taste. And then that's all for now. I'll just let this cook properly for a while before we add our yam into it. So now it's time to peel my yam and then cut into pieces. Like I said, it mustn't be yam. It can be potato, Irish sweet potato. It can also be unripe plantain or even ripe plantain. Whichever one actually goes for this recipe. So pepper soup is actually a very popular recipe here in Nigeria. Of course, most times people want to take pepper soup depending on the kind of weather, and also, you know, newborn moms, I mean women that just gave birth newly, pepper soup is actually what they use in welcoming them back home, especially goat meat pepper soup. So this is a very popular recipe here in Nigeria. Pepper soup is something people love to take, probably when they go out for fun. People just love to eat pepper soup and then enjoy themselves with pepper soup. So this is a very common and popular recipe here in Nigeria. It's very healthy because of the spices it contains, those seeds, you know, the pepper soup mix blend, all those things. They are very healthy and good for human health. So I think pepper soup should be one of your go-to delicacies at any time at all, not depending on the weather. You can just feel like eating it sometime and then you prepare it on the go. It's quite easy. There's nothing much there. You just to add water and then your spices, your meats and everything, and that's it. It's a very easy delicacy to prepare. Anyone can actually do that. So it's not like you're making soup that you have to add other things, and you know. So pepper soup is quite easy to prepare. There's nothing hard about it. So that's it. I'm done chopping this. I'll just set this aside. So I'll just set this aside and wait for our meat to get a little bit soft before I add this to the pot. So So I'm not separating them. Most people would love to separate them, like cook white yam and then use pepper soup to eat it, but I am going to be adding this into our pepper soup once it's time. So let me just clear this up while our meat is on fire. So our meat is ready by now, so I'm just going to add more water to it and then I'll put in our already cut yam into it. The aroma is really inviting. All the spices are giving actually. So I'll just add water to it and then I can now add our yam. I'm going to wash this. I didn't wash after cutting the first time, so I'll just wash this and add into our pepper soup and let it cook together for some minutes. Then I'll add our uziza leaves to it. And in a few minutes time from now, our pepper soup will be ready to get devoured. So I'm done washing our yam. Now it's time to put into our pepper soup. So I'm just going to let this cook for some minutes before adding our uziza leaves to it. I hope you all are learning different recipes from our show, and I hope also that you're trying all these recipes as well. Don't forget to follow us and also give us your different comments on the recipes you've tried at home. So our yam is in this already, so I'll just cover and then let it simmer for some minutes, and then so when we come back from this break, by then our yam should be a bit soft and then we'll be adding our uziza leaves. Stay tuned. That's yummy. Welcome back people. So right now it's time to check on our pepper soup, and yam I think is ready. So now it's time for us to add our uziza leaves to it. Wow, really looks nice and the aroma is so inviting. So in a few minutes from now it will be our moment of truth where we'll have to test this and give you a honest review about today's recipe. So I've added our uziza leaves already to it. So this is quarter to being ready. So as you can see, our pepper soup and yam is ready, or let's say almost ready. So in 1 minute's time this will be ready. So when we come back from this break, it will be time to give you a honest review about today's recipe. Stay tuned. That's yummy. Welcome back people. So as you can see, the moment of truth is here. Our yam and assorted pepper soup is right here, sitting pretty in front of me. So right now it's time to taste this, and as usual give you my honest review about this recipe. So let's go. The aroma is actually everything. It's giving all the spices and all that. It's really inviting, I must say. So nice. perfect for the weather. It's actually really cold, and so this is perfect. This is actually something you all should try at home. So I'm going to be giving this a 9/10. This is something you all should try at home. Seriously, it's actually cool for this weather. So we've come to the end of yet another exciting episode on Food Clinic. I remain your host, Blue, and please don't forget to follow us on all our social media handles displaying on your screen right now. Bye for now.